Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here's your daily forecast for the day of Sunday, December 10th, 2017. Now, what is going on today is that we have at midnight, okay, which was, the very end of yesterday and into very early this morning, the moon right here hanging out in Virgo in a square with the sun and in a trine with Pluto. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the moon in a square with the sun, because that is what makes it a third quarter moon, is when the moon squares the sun right before a new moon is coming in. Okay, and third quarter moons indicate major readjustment in some way, okay? Letting go of whatever happened at the new moon, of whatever it is you've been working for in the past, so that you can begin to think about your life in different ways and move towards doing something else. Okay, so that's kind of what is going on right here. When it comes to this situation, we're trying to readjust towards doing something new that we have not done before, adjusting our beliefs, moving forward on some new things. And I think that's what we're trying to do here, is trying to finally, I know I've been talking about this for months, and whatever was going on, and really begin to commit to some new thing that it is that we're doing. As to where the last new moon was right here in Scorpio, okay, we were making some big changes in our life here, ending and beginning some things, doing a lot of inner transformation. That time of transformation and endings and beginnings is coming to an end. That time of change is ending, so that we can finally step into something new and do the new thing. And what we're having to do yesterday and today is totally readjust our perspective here, so that we can fully go into this new thing that life has to offer. Like, no more worrying and wondering and thinking about the past and holding on to the past and wishing your life was different, which we could have been doing for weeks and for months before this. It's time to finally say, okay, there's not much I can do. Like, this is what life has given me, this is where life is going, and it's time for you to commit to whatever new thing has come, and to go forward and to do that. Okay, and I think that's just the big message of today, is finally allowing yourself to overcome what's going on with the past, to figure out what's going on inside you here, and to moving forward. And yeah, and I think that's what's going on with the moon here in Virgo too. Adds even more to that, because the moon in Virgo is not like easily fooled. Like, I don't see Virgo is all about what's practical in a lot of ways and what works. So I think there could be a thing here where we've got some grand ideas of our life and of our future and the way that we see our life and what it is that we're doing here with a bunch of planets in Sagittarius. And I think the moon in Virgo here is bursting some of our plans a little bit here, saying, look, if you want to do this new thing, you need to first figure out, can you do this thing you want to do or not? Like, can it work in reality or can it not? And if it can't work in reality, you need to change this thing that you're doing, or you need to change the way that you think, so that you can get on board with this thing. So that's a big theme of Virgo. Another theme that comes up from Virgo is, if you decide that you can do this new thing that you're doing and really commit to it, Virgo is going to say, okay, how can you do this new thing? Like, it's not enough to have some big vision and some big idea. You have to figure out how to get there. And you have to put in the work to do it and to make it happen, and to back up all of these big plans and to back up this big vision that it is that you have. And I think that's what we're trying to do today, is to finally readjust our perspective, let go of the past, and put in the hard work and the effort and the plan to make this new thing happen, whether we like it or not, and to finally get on board with it and to finally commit to it and to just support it and to go there. You know, I think that's just what's happening, and we're just trying to figure that out. You know, it's kind of interesting, because Sagittarius to me is a sign of happiness, loves to be happy. Your fire signs a lot of times like to be happy, likes to play, likes to experiment. And it's coming into a square here with Virgo, which no, doesn't play. Virgo works. Virgo likes to work and get the work done and make it happen, and you're having to figure out how to work doing something you enjoy, how to play at work, you know, and to make and have fun doing the work to get your life where it is that you want it to go in, even if it's hard and even if it takes a lot of effort, and just really needing to figure all of that out. And I think if you can do that, if you can finally pry yourself away from a life you had, from what was going on in the past, or from a way that you thought about your life and made sense of your life so that you can do something new, and if you can put in the work to be okay with that and to be on board with that and to sustain it and to support it, it's really going to help you do the things that you need to do. And it's really going to help you here where Pluto is, with the trine coming in, to feel better about your life, to point your life in the right direction, and to build on your life moving forward. Okay, we're coming up to a major change that only happens once every 2.5 years, where Saturn, which has been in Sagittarius for the past 2.5 years, is about to leave it and to move into Capricorn. And we have to make the switch this month, coming very soon, to commit to doing something new here, and then to building on it and to moving forward on it. And it's not gonna be, there's no more doubt after like the next week. No more doubting. Am I doing the right thing? Am I moving in the right direction? Like, you're gonna have to commit to it, and you're gonna have to build on it and move forward on it. And I think that's what we need to figure out here, and putting in the work, putting in the effort, thinking about the details here and how you can use the details of your life to reach the big picture is going to then help you feel much better building on something that you're doing, okay? And that's what's going on. And after Saturn leaves Sagittarius very soon here, this month, you're no longer gonna hear me talk about committing to something new, doing something new that you have not done before, and making sense of your life for the next 2.5 years. If you're still watching my videos, and if I'm still making them, which I think I am going to be, it's gonna be all about building, working, putting in the effort, your social standing, your reputation. Are you creating the life that you want, and moving it forward, and no longer gonna be about, well, are you doing something new that you want to do? Is this new thing important to you? You know, it's not going to be about that. I may talk about that a little bit next year when Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, and as we have the faster moving planets move through Sagittarius next year too. But the main theme coming in here very soon that you're going to start to feel big time in January is no longer about exploring, experimentation, doing something new. The main theme in January is going to be, okay, are you building on it? Are you putting in the work? Are you making sure that your life is going in the direction that you want it to go in? And how can you make sure that you're pointing your life in that new direction? And I think we're trying to figure all of that out today, how we can finally commit to something and start to build on it, and to get right with our life, and to put in the hard work to sustain it, and to accept this new thing that's coming in our life, and to just go there. All right, as all of that's going on today, we also have the moon here coming off of the square to the sun and the trine to Pluto, in an opposition with Chiron, and in a square with Mercury. So as you're trying to readjust your perspective and readjust your life to doing something new, to committing something new, so that we can start to build on it, again, Chiron, hurt feelings coming up here about what's going on. As you're trying to think about your future, as you're trying to put a plan in place, as you're trying to understand where your life is going here, feeling a little bit uncomfortable, maybe worried that, again, you aren't making the right decision here, that doing some new thing does not feel quite right to you. Maybe also worried that, again, the plan that you're making isn't the most comfortable, that you don't know how to sustain this new thing that you're doing, or to work some of the details out. And I think today, really needing to make a plan, move forward, even if it's uncomfortable here, into figuring out how you can start to be more comfortable in your life, how to build more of that comfort in, how to work around some of your pain points and some of your insecurities so that they don't hurt you so much anymore. Being a big thing. And I think if you can really commit to doing something new and overcoming some insecurities inside and some fears about your life, about where it's going, about whether or not you're doing the right thing, and also about how hard it is to do this new thing, that can come in with Virgo too, you're going to get a lot better and feel a lot better. Because once all these planets leave Sagittarius, which they're going to do in the next month or so, and move into Capricorn here, you're not going to have the same fears anymore. Like these same problems are going to go away and you're going to feel much better. But I think what you need to understand is you're not going to feel better than you do right now unless you commit to doing something that's out of your comfort zone. Commit to doing something you have not done before, and commit to doing something that you're not entirely sure can really work. Like, I think that's the message right now based on this chart, is like, you have to do this new thing that you're unsure about, that's uncomfortable for you. And if you do that, then you're no longer going to have these same problems that you've been having for months. For months, as every single planet has like made this crazy square to Chiron while it's been in Sagittarius, as it's been moving around, as Saturn's been in Sagittarius too. So really needing to do the uncomfortable thing here and start to move forward on something you haven't done so that you cannot feel so hurt anymore, and really needing to put in the work to sustain this new thing that you may be uncomfortable about so that you can finally overcome some things that are hurting you and move in the right direction, okay? Going on. And that may also require you here with the quincunx to Uranus to think very differently about who you are and about what you want and about your own needs, so that you can finally start to do something different that you know you need to do, and readjusting your life to get on board with that. Okay, as we're figuring that stuff out too, at the very end of the day, 7 p.m., the moon also going to square Saturn. Sorry, I know I'm messing up the chart here a lot. But the moon also going to square Saturn here, bringing up some heavy commitments tonight, 7 p.m., knowing you need to do something new, knowing you need to figure out how to make sense of your life in some way here, and really having to put in the work and put in the effort to make it happen here, and figuring out how you can do this new thing in reality. And again, I think the whole message of today is making the big picture and the small details, aligning all of the small details of your life up to doing something new and bringing the two together. And I think if you can do that, it's going to be a lot easier today. Otherwise, there could be some hard feelings that you don't want to do something new. This new thing is scary. You know, whatever's going on is hard or uncomfortable, and you have to put in a lot of work to do it. And I think you need to embrace the work. I think you need to embrace the details here, so that you can start to envision your life and put it in a better place, and begin to really move forward on some things that are less hurtful for you, and just moving everything there in the right direction. So it's just a lot of working that stuff out, okay? And after you do that, towards the end of the night, after 7 p.m., the moon then's going to move into Libra, where it's going to become much more about balance. After you put in the hard work, after you put in a lot of the effort, after maybe there is some tension here about some new thing that you're doing, and about you stepping into it in a very physical way now, we're really starting to step into these new chapters that we've been working out for years. I think then at the end of the day, it's going to become about balance. You know, okay, you put a lot of the effort in, okay, a lot of this is scary, this work that you're doing, how can you find the balance now and work with people to help you do some of the things that you've been doing, so that you really can fully begin to move forward here. Okay, and I think before you can find the balance, and before you can work with other people, really needing to figure out what you can do to get right with where your life is going, and what you can do to put in the work to make sure this thing is a reality and can stick with you. Okay, so I think that's what I've got going on today. Not really too much else going on in the background. A lot of the same stuff I always talk about, but by now some of the other alignments I've been talking about for a while are about 2 to 3 degrees off, which is still kind of close for slow moving planets, but I'm not going to talk about those. The only thing in the background I'm going to talk about today is here, Venus, square with Neptune. So doing something new, maybe relationships too, a little bit, maybe some confusion about relationships, confusion about how we make sense of our life, confusion about something new that we're doing as we're trying to put a plan in place and make it happen. And I think the message today is be creative, be imaginative, be intuitive. If you're trying really hard to put a plan in place for your life, and to put in the hard work and to get the details done to sustain some big new vision of yours, some big new commitment or thing that you're having to do, I think the message is you have to be creative, try some things you haven't done before, be intuitive, listen to your intuition about what's going on. And I think if you can do that, it may make some of the work easier for you, and some of the tension inside a little bit easier for you to resolve as you're working some of this stuff out, okay? So that's what I'm gonna say there. I think that's what I'm gonna go in. It was kind of a little bit different reading for me today, just because this is like a rare thing. Like, this doesn't happen that often in a lot of ways, and it's a big chapter change that we're coming up to, especially this month, that this new moon is going to be kicking off a lot of, and I think we need to finally start doing this new thing here and stepping into these new chapters so that our lives can begin to change in a big way, and so that we can just move there. Now your card. Oh, this is interesting. I got this card the other day, reversed, but this one's upright. This is the Five of Pentacles upright. So for some reason, feeling uncomfortable today, feeling like things are hard and not working out quite right. I see this definitely as a Virgo card. Virgo's an earth sign. Pentacles to me rule earth signs. Virgo to me is just a sign of hard work. Very hard work that goes on in Virgo. That's part of the reason why Virgo quincunxes Aries. Aries rules the first house. Because when you get in Virgo, you have to do things you don't want to do. You have to do things that don't support what you initially wanted and your initial desires and your initial actions, and you have to do a lot of readjustment here, and you have to do a lot of things that are uncomfortable in order to get what it is that you want. And I think this card is saying, do the uncomfortable thing. Be okay if things in your life are uncomfortable because they're meant to help you do something new. They're meant to help you finally, once and for all, identify with this new thing, this new commitment, this new life, and to go there. And you just need to go there. You need to let yourself make the readjustments, feel the hard feelings, especially with the opposition from the moon to Chiron coming in here, so that you can go forward. I think a lot of things that come in here too with the moon in Virgo is that our old life it doesn't work for us anymore. A lot of times what happens in Virgo and in the 6th house is you outgrow your old life. Old things that were once for you no longer are, and I think that's what this is saying. Your old life is no longer for you. It's no longer for you. It's gone. It's not working. You have to let it go. You have to put in the work, even if it's hard, even if it's uncomfortable, and even if you don't quite know where it is that it's going, in order for you to come out on the other side of it and to feel much better. And it's coming, and it will be there the end of this month in a very big way. But you just have to maybe go forward now, maybe a little bit blind, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, putting some of the hard work in before the rest of it is going to come together. All right, so that's what I've got for you. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.